One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics, past or present. We'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane
with exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast,
the voice of your covered walkway streets. So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronx Village to the Fieldhouse,
we'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
So saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
What's up, good people? Season 3, we're back. We've got a great guest this week. G, you are unfortunately back for season 3.
Yeah, thank goodness I'm not your guest. I'm your co-host with the co-host with the most, I think, something like that. It goes like that.
Something like that,
but,
right?
Man, I'm so glad, man, you brought me back and we renewed my contract for 2023. I mean, 24. I'm so glad that I renewed it. It's a multi-million-dollar contract. Thank you so much for re-signing me, and we're excited to be here. We're excited to bring in the new year and the first of the new year.
Yep.
The
first guest season 3
of the new year. Oh man. Nonetheless,
Bert Garcia, welcome to the show, Bert.
Bert Garcia.
What's going on?
How are you guys?
We're good.
How's everything?
How are you? Oh, where exactly are you at right now? Because you look like you're at the top of the world.
It feels like it. It really does. But my question to you guys is, are you guys running out of guests for me to be on?
No. We get Yeah, we're reaching to the bottom of the barrel with this one. We understand that.
Everybody's on vacation right now, so that's what it is.
Yeah,
I get it.
Nobody's back from their Christmas and New Year's vacation, so you're the only one available, Bert. You're the only one. Yeah.
Hey, I'm a friend that you could count on for sure.
That's what it is. And, yeah.
Well, speaking of a friend that you can count on, we've known Bert for a very long time, man. He's just a great person, close friend. And again, man, in all seriousness, thank you for taking the time, because I know that you're a busy man, and we're going to get into that.
We're going to get into everything you've been doing and how it got there. You shared off camera how that one moment got you to kind of where it led to a series of events. I think I can't wait for you to share that. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And of course, Bert is part of the, UT Pan American crew. I mean, of course, we have close friends like Lalo Rios and Brian Molina that have joined the show. The goat, the baby goat, Mike Mancias, with the Lakers right now, and
he's too busy writing books.
Yeah, he's busy, launching books and working on his audio book and all that stuff, But we're really excited because we've known Bert for a long time, since those Pan American days. And man, I'm ready to get started, man. I'm ready to get started. Matt, you ready to get started?
I'm ready. I've been ready for a couple of months now.
I've been ready for about 23 minutes, but 25 actually.
I was trying to go over and edit the pictures off of Mike's book. I was helping him with the pictures, so I that be late.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
Okay, so Bert, we've known you. We all went to school together, right? And I met you before my senior year, which would have been 99, 2000, right? And that was kind of, Delray Brooks exited, kind of Hoffman came in, and that's where we met. Like, I kind of knew who you were prior. G knew who you were, but you and I you and Mike spent the entire my senior year together, right? So kind of talk about how you became affiliated with the team and Coach Hoffman, like that year, 99, 2000.
No, absolutely. It's, we used to play a lot of pickleball at the field house. And, I've always been passionate about basketball. I thought I could play even at 5'7". I thought I was decent enough, so I would play with you guys, pick up basketball, and lo and behold, John Braxton and I became friends, who was one of the starting forwards for Pan Am at that time. And little by little, you would say, hey, we have a new coach and they're needing help. He didn't specify what kind of help. He didn't specify the role. He didn't even specify the title, right? And I was like, sure. It's like, hey, but we're going to Hawaii and we're going to Missouri, we're going to University of Illinois, and all these universities. I was like, man, that's intriguing. Yeah. So yeah, I'll have coach talk to you. And at the time, I believe there was only 3 in staff, which was Davenport and Clay and Bob. Well, obviously Bob, the head coach, but that's what they had at staff. They still hadn't hired the 4th assistant, and they still hadn't hired a basketball ops person. So go and talk to Bob, and they're not even clear exactly what the role is. It's like, hey, you want to help? It's like, yeah, you could help rebound, shoot around. We don't have enough scholarships right now, so you might even get to play in practice. And I was like, yeah, you're gonna get gear. You're gonna get gear. So I was like, yes, I'm definitely in. And when's our first trip, kind of thing, right? So season starts, and
you're what, like 20 years old, right? 21 at the time?
I wasn't 21 yet, but
I'm just trying to give reference, right? So 20-year-old kid about to travel, get free gear. Like this is exciting stuff for you, right?
Right, correct. And okay. I mean, I had already met Mike and obviously you and John, and so it was a pretty tight group. I mean, at least amongst us. And so it was fun almost right off the get-go until, we have 2-a-days and, oh, here's a laundry basket. Can you start washing the clothes? And I was like, well, I thought I was going to be able to help with the offense or help with the defense, or can I break down film? I thought that's exactly what I was doing. And by the time the 3 coaches are having closed door meetings because of basketball. I was like, wait, I can't go to those meetings or whatnot. Eventually, I started doing those duties and responsibilities. And, obviously that was my role at that time. But Bob was so gracious that he was allowing me on some of the basketball stuff. As a matter of fact, I didn't have to sit at the end of the bench. I would actually sit with them at the front of the bench. So it was fun. He made it to where, this is what your dream is, be part of it.
Yeah, the suit too. I remember that.
Suit and everything. Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. And passion for me has always been on the coaching side or on the basketball side. So at least I thought, and, I did that for about 3 or 4 years until, G and I talked about it. The pay wasn't so great once you became on the basketball administrative part. Oh. And so I had to make some moves just because the time I was raising my brother at the same time. So his some of his sports were also, kind of getting in the way a little bit. And the fact that I needed to support a little bit more. And so I was able to do that for about 4 years on the equipment management / basketball ops side. With Bob Hoffman.
That's fantastic. And then it leads to what? Like that relationship between you and Bob was special, right? Because Coach Hoffman's a great dude. Yes. And he always looks out for people that kind of, he kind of looks out for, right? And so where did that land you like after Pan Am?
Well, I ended up taking other jobs after Pan Am, trying to start my career. And Bob had taken off to Oklahoma a year before I left, and he started his career at University of Oklahoma. And all of a sudden I get a call November of 2006, if I'm not mistaken. I get a call from November 2006, and it's Bob out of the blue, and it's like, I know he was doing ABA in Arkansas after Oklahoma. And he was, hey, there's an NBA team starting in the Valley. I was like, when? I was like, in a year, I think they're going to start. I was like, didn't think anything of it. Again, my career's, flourishing a bit in the medical field.
I remember that.
So, come September, October, Bob's already in town. Well, they were already in town a little bit earlier, but excuse me, Bob and Spencer are in town, starting this new NBA development league team. Yeah. And first of its kind. And they're like, hey, come help us out. And, typical fashion.
I don't want to wash clothes this time.
Well, hey, come help us out. We don't have the budget for you to help us out. but you get to be part of this. It's the NBA. You never know what doors could open and this and that. And I was like, what? I'm making decent money. My job is a little bit, allows me some opportunities to be able to go to practices and so on and so forth. So sure enough, I mean, from the get-go, we are practicing at the summit. I remember Spencer and I are literally with our hands putting the floor down. We literally laid out a whole NBA court down.
Wow.
And I remember I was sore for about 3 days because I wasn't quite sure what kind of back exercise that was, but it was quite exhausting. But we put the court down. Again, I wasn't officially part of the staff, but he was letting me, work out the point guards, wash clothes. I wasn't traveling, but I was helping on the little things, right?
Yeah.
Which
is important. Like, that's definitely important. That, like, no pun intended, but you were laying the foundation for that franchise, right? Because without that court, they can't practice. So you were laying the groundwork for that foundation.
I thank you, and I believe that was the case. I obviously, thanks to Bob and Bob, giving me an opportunity just to even help was really good. The season's going and we're doing okay. I end up befriending some really amazing basketball players at the time, from CJ Watson, Aaron Brooks, Steve Novak, and it seems that I had a little bit of a niche of being able to communicate with those players, and Bob would give me the right to shoot around with them. CJ will tell you, we were out, I remember December 31st, we were celebrating New Year's Eve. Him and I were working out at 11 o'clock at night at the gym. And kind of stories like that I wanted to be part of this at a level. Eventually, I'm like, hey, Bob, I have to decide between my job and doing this, just because I'm doing 8 to 10 hours a day, and I can't sustain both. And he was, look, go out and sell some tickets and some sponsorships, and I think that could help you supplement some of your income. So I go and I do it, and I'm actually pretty good at the selling of sponsorship and tickets. Obviously, being part of the community and having to know some people, it allowed the doors to open up a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And by the time you know it, I get hired to be on the business side of things. Never expected that. But then I'm like, man, if this is my way, quote unquote, to the NBA or to professional sports, I'm going to take advantage.
Yeah.
Well, so many things happened that first year. There was a lot of staff movement, a lot of people that had left, the front office staff. And I guess by default, I get promoted to assistant GM.
You go from laying the floor to assistant GM. Like, right. That's amazing. Now, I'm not saying that it's not deserving. Trust me. You're more deserving of anybody that I know, right? I'm just saying, I'm making light of the situation where you 6 months ago you were laying parquet in the summit, and now you're making business decisions on, how to move the team and make it happen, so.
Ask Renee. Renee will be the first one to tell you. The first joke he always says is like, you go from, washing clothes to being president, says that. But, long story short, assistant GM, I felt I was ready. We didn't have a president for that summer leading into season 2. I felt I was ready and whatnot, but, and truly I wasn't. But I got to learn. They hired Brian Michael Cooper to become president, who was an agent, a sports agent. So you got to learn from him. The relationship with the Rockets has been more concrete, because at the time we had New Orleans and we had Cleveland, as well as the Houston Rockets. And conversation with the Houston Rockets, I remember Sam Hickey and I, briefly talking about doing a hybrid, the first of its kind. Brian comes in and he takes over that. But I remember that conversation. I'm at a poker game with some of our season ticket holders on a Monday, and I get a call from Sam Hickey. He was like, "Hey, Bert, you have a chance to talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Here's my idea," and that's how it started. Wow. And people know that.
And now this hybrid model, just for reference, this hybrid model is used throughout the G League. At the time, it was the D League, but now it's referred to as the G League. So your conversation with Sam Hinkie, who went on to be a GM with Philly,
Correct.
and is really respected in the industry. That conversation basically kind of led to this hybrid model that the NBA and the G League adopt today, right?
Daryl Morey and Sam Hinkie are innovators. They're the ones that, if you want to put the money ball from baseball into basketball, they were the money ball for basketball. As a matter of fact, they're the ones that pushed for the G League to be taken more serious, because instead of investing in one veteran contract, you could do that in 12 guys that you're able to develop throughout the season. So, that was just a small story about that. But Brian Michael Cooper comes and he's with us for about a year and a half. And then he has to go back to Houston. He found a better job, and there's an opening.
There's a void.
By then, I felt, in my opinion, that I had a pretty good grasp on how to run that team, from business operations to basketball operations. I felt I had a pretty good grasp. So I was pretty aggressive in letting the ownership know that, hey, I should be considered.
Yeah.
And truth be told, ownership at the time was 5, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to say 3 out of the 5 voted against me, except the majority owner. So Alonso was the one that went to bat for me. The majority owner went to bat for me, and that's how I got the opportunity to be president.
That's amazing. That's awesome. That's
So
awesome.
How many years did you spend as a president, Bert?
10 years.
It was 10, right? Yeah.
10 years. In total with the franchise was 13 years.
How many championships did you win?
I was able to be part of 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Able to be part of 2.
Right.
Now,
we should have gone a 3rd one if it wasn't for a bad call. Just saying.
now also,
No, yeah.
so you're running the business side of the team, but how involved are you with like the facility operations? Because y'all were like at State Farm that time, right? Like the State Farm Arena. Like, how hands-on were you with the facility type running that?
Well, they obviously have their own. We were a tenant. Okay.
Yeah.
They have their own facility manager, but it's funny you say it that way, because if you want to talk about hanging up banners for your sponsors, we have to do that. You want to talk about putting down special chairs for your season ticket holders? There was no job small enough or big enough that we all had to do. We had to all hands on deck. So we were part of it. Obviously, we got to know what the business looked like on a facility, because you have to do settlements. You have to know what concessions look like as far as revenue, what their contract looks like. Obviously, ticketing through Ticketmaster, you have to know what that contract looks like. So little by little, you were able to learn that side of the business as well.
That's phenomenal.
I know you mentioned championships, Matt, and Bert's always had that mentality, of winning, championships, of improving, of developing. One of the cool things that I remember, during that time of his stint there with the Vipers was, our conversations that we had with, what can you do? And Bert would, I'm sure he called plenty of people trying to get, recommendations, suggestions, and how to involve the youth more. And I think that's one of the things that Bert kind of, that's his mentality, and it's pretty cool, because it's like, what can we have this huge entity, right? We have these opportunities, and what can we do with this opportunity to develop the youth, to really get kids involved? So Bert, talk a little bit about that mindset, man, and how you approach that, and how you use that Vipers organization to involve youth, and what it's become now.
Well, it's twofold. The foundation was laid by the ownership group. The ownership group talk about the community. Minor league sports is not necessarily a cash flow business. You're just trying to break even at the best. If you do that, you're having a great season. So the ownership group was, hey, let's make sure we are available to the community. Let's make sure that we are sending the sponsorship and season ticket holders. That way we could provide a lower, a budget, or a ticket that people could afford in their budget to come and enjoy the Vipers. So that's, in a sense, was community driven for sure. Obviously youth driven. We always led the league in community appearances. So there was there was never an appearance that we hardly said no to an appearance unless we had a game that day. But for the most part, we make sure when I had the meeting with the players, even though it was Houston Rockets led, but they knew that when you're coming to the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, you're going to be involved with the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we never shied away from that. Having, James Johnson, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's December in the Valley and it's still very warm, 90 degrees, and they're in their Viper sweats and the kids, James Johnson's playing with the kids at DHR hospital, things like that.
Crazy.
So since then, as a kid, we didn't have pro sports. You guys know that. We didn't have pro sports in Rio Grande Valley.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I always felt that I'm blessed that it's here now. How can we give back? How can we give back? And again, that was a foundation that the ownership laid out from the very get-go. And I'm glad that our staff was able to follow through with that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Our staff is always centered through that.
Yeah, and kind of like to piggyback on that, the formation of the academies.
Yep.
Well,
you're talking years and years and years of us of it working towards that. From us leading the league always in ticket sales, leading the league in attendance, leading the league in sponsorship and group sales. That sets up to where you could have an opportunity to discuss with different municipalities, like, well, we now need a practice facility, So before that conversation was actually the conversation of, hey, I think we could actually have our own arena. So we talked to different cities and having that kind of vision start almost to become a reality. So as the conversations with the arena are coming, it's like, well, we'll attach a practice facility to the arena. Well, there's not enough space in some of these acreages and there's not enough space. And lo and behold, the city of Edinburgh goes, you know what? We are planning to redo the Boys and Girls Club. Why can't we partner up and make this a facility for sports and wellness? And, we start designing the building together with the city of Edinburgh and at the same time doing the arena.
Wow.
The wellness center comes in first and then the arena. But at the same time, there were some simultaneous projects. And it's, again, thanks to ownership group, the Valley was the first to have a true practice facility for its NBA G League team. No NBA G League team had its own facility. We have one that not only was the home for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, but now home for the community as far as doing junior Vipers basketball.
Volleyball. Yeah, we're doing everything. Yeah.
Now, they got a boxing rink. We got 4 dance classes now. Basketball courts that you could have some of the bigger tournaments in the Rio Grande Valley.
So I remember when I was working with the Toros and we would practice in a rec center, right? Yep. And then we would come down to play you guys, RGV, and it was basically it felt like a red carpet. It was it was just everything was nice. Everything was meticulously thought of, and so that's also a recruiting tool. If you take care of the little things, the minute details, these players, they don't stick with this G League team for the rest of their career. They hop around. This is something that the agents know. They're hey, RGV's got something going on. And lo and behold, that's why y'all win all the awards. You're recognized with the G League, RGV is doing something right. So kudos to you.
And it all leads back again from the ownership group. You're winning championships, a partnership with the Houston Rockets, and it gives you credibility. It allows you to, when you actually are starting to negotiate these deals, you have the RGV Vipers name on it. It means something now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what allowed us to have the same vision. And there was other cities that had the same vision. We were lucky that the city of Edinburgh, was basically was doing it quicker.
Well, let me kind of, because we got about 10 minutes left, but let's kind of fast forward a little bit. You are not in Edinburgh right now because Edinburgh doesn't have a building higher than 3 stories. And so where are you at now and what are you doing? Obviously, you're no longer with the Vipers. You've transitioned, but kind of tell everybody what you're doing now and why you're sitting up in the heavens.
No, well, it's not a bad view.
Yeah,
That is for sure.
nice view. Yeah, you can see
Um,
planes. Yeah, coming through. Yeah.
No, I'm in Dallas, Texas. I work for Neltec Sports, which is led by Donnie Nelson, who was president GM for the Dallas Mavericks for over 26 years. We have a couple licenses in soccer, rugby, minor league baseball, and we're doing facility projects here in the Metroplex. So the experience that I got in the Rio Grande Valley has led me to Donnie recruited me to lead some of the facility projects here in the Metroplex.
Wow.
And also have a partnership with Barcelona as well. So we represent their soccer initiatives here in the Metroplex, and potentially one day the headquarters here for them.
Wow.
That's some big things, man.
That is
Some
big
things.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
That was the one that I would say kind of, pinched me a little bit. As,
Barcelona's huge.
When Barcelona invited Donnie and I to go and meet with them in Barcelona, and they put you next to the president of the club, and you're having a half day of conversations with them, and then you're watching a soccer game for the Europa Cup, and Dani Alves is right in front of me, Rafa Marquez is right behind me, you're in Camp Nou. It's kind of one of those, like, this kid from the Valley.
Yeah.
Put things into perspective, right? Yeah.
From him.
So what do you send John Braxton for Christmas? Like,
I mean, obviously he started this entire journey for you, Bert.
I believe
just send him a box of detergent, right? Just like, here, man.
Here, remember those days.
Remember these days? Thank you, brother.
No, but grateful for that, and like you guys hit it from the very beginning. I mean, my best friends are literally from those years, from those days. I talk to them every day, kind of thing.
I can't get rid of this dude.
I mean, we even started a podcast,
We even started a podcast together.
Yeah, we're like, hey, man. Well, no, I try not to talk to him outside of the podcast, Bert. Don't get that misconstrued. Like, this is about right. This is about all I can take, right?
This is boundaries.
But
boundaries.
I got boundaries, man. But the most important thing is that we get to bring in people and talk life, man, and talk what they're doing, and
tell amazing stories.
And this is the crazy part about this, man, is that we've brought in guests that we've known for years and years and years, that we talk to every day, sometimes every day. I mean, but every other day, whatever. We talk a lot. And I learned something new about that person on this podcast, man. It doesn't matter how many times we talk.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We could be best friends. We could be close friends. We could do whatever. And
that's
I'm like,
what it's about. It's about telling stories.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
now, so we want to kind of take a moment, send a shout out to Wing Barn. Last season we did a movie trivia, and I think G's got a Wing Barn movie trivia line for you today. You guess it. Next time you're in the Valley, you win some Wing Barn gift certificates. So
yeah, absolutely, man.
What's the line,
appreciate Wing Barn helping us out. The line is, "Hey, you guys."
That's a gimme.
Really?
The Goonies.
Yeah, that's a record right there, man. He got it in like 1.5 seconds. Good job, Bert.
We had a player or two that looked like
with like sloth. Yeah.
Panem.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say you look just like Sloth doing that.
No, not quite.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Man.
Well, we appreciate Wing Barn, man, giving us gift cards to give away, and thank you for that
10
sponsorship.
locations.
And Bert, next time you're in the Valley, man, let me know so we can hook it up and we can go eat at Wing Barn.
I would love me some.
Yeah.
You got gift certificates coming to you. So you're at Neltec Sports and you're in Dallas. I know you come down and you frequent the Valley, as much as you can, at least once or twice a month, right? And
I have two beautiful daughters. Bree is 15 and Zoe's 13, and Bree plays at McAllen Memorial, and Zoe at Kathy, soon to be a freshman. So I do, that's my priority. So I do get to see them.
That's awesome, man.
As often as possible. I'm blessed that they're in travel volleyball right now, so they'll cut my trip a little bit shorter. At least
they gotta come to you. Yeah.
1 weekend a month, and now it cuts my trip a little bit shorter. But they're still there, so I do go to the Valley often. I do try to catch so sporting events. And, the family and I were, when I say the family, my sister graduated from Pan Am. My brother played baseball at Pan Am.
Played baseball, yeah.
Baseball Pan Am. So we have quite a bit of passion for Pan Am and or UTRGV athletics.
Yeah.
Sure.
And how about that, Bert? I mean, I know, obviously we can have like a whole discussion and a whole podcast about where UTRGV is going and the strides that Chase is making over there with his village that he says, obviously he always says, it takes a village, and that's just the kind of the mindset that he has, but with similarities in mindsets, I mean, just where they're going, man. What do you kind of think about like just those transitioning into vaqueros and
where we were
all
at,
the future things?
from where we
man,
started,
like,
to
things
now.
that we
What do you
had,
think?
to now.
Look, it goes back to even the statement that I made from the little things, from us practicing at the summit and Bob Hoffman, right, where that started, and you could go back to Pan Am Sports, whether it be Bob Hoffman and us winning the Puerto Rican shootout, all those little bricks, become something. I think Chris King did a phenomenal job, and I believe now Chris King had the vision. Now you got Chase as actually executing. And making it to fruition, and the things that we had envisioned. To be honest with you, when I was with the Vipers, Toros, and doing those buildings, our vision was always how the partnership with UTRGV was going to look like. I mean, the soccer stadium was built potentially with the future of college football one day.
That's right.
The arena was made to potentially, have the recruits come over, and you're going to be able to play Oklahoma here. You're going to play maybe Texas one day. You're going to be able to play some of these big tournaments in this building. So it's awesome that now people are executing the vision that some people had in the past. Maybe did not, maybe they didn't spend their full time there, but now it's coming to fruition. So I love seeing.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. I love that.
That's awesome. I love that. You know what I love also?
What?
I love Jason's Deli.
Yeah. Oh, is it time to sandwich all the questions together, rapid fire?
I think it's time for Jason's Deli speed round.
Shout out to Jason's Deli, who's a new sponsor for season 3. And we've created a segment. We want to end all the episodes with we call it the sandwich round. So G's going to ask a bunch of rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
We're going to sandwich all the questions together. Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this, Bert?
I hope so.
Let me put my readers on, okay, so I can read you the questions really quick now. Okay, you got like 0.5 seconds to answer. You can't really think too long and hard about this.
Like rapid.
I'm gonna give you 2 options. Okay, all right, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Mustard or ketchup?
Mustard.
Okay. Sharks or whales?
Oh, sharks.
Wow. Fries or hash browns?
Fries.
Or should I say tater tots?
Oh,
tater tots.
With cheese without cheese.
Tater tots, Napoleon Dynamite. I got you. Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Oh, Nike or Jordan brand?
Nike.
Oh, that hurts. Warriors or Lakers?
I can't
think.
I can't stand both, but I have to lean with the Lakers because of my guy.
That's right. All right. Good answer. Gel or natural look?
Oh, gel.
Got you. East or west?
West. Well, wait. What are we talking about?
It's open, buddy. Yeah, you just got it. It's open.
You went with the west side.
West side, baby.
No, hold on. No. East Coast. You got New York City and you got Miami. Oh, yeah, East Coast.
Okay, I got you now. I got you. All right, last one. Jason's Deli or Subway? Jason's Deli or Subway?
Jason's Deli.
There you go.
All right, man.
All right. Bert survived the Jason's Deli sandwich round. Congratulations, man.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate you, man.
Bert, thank you so much for joining the show and having you on. You made a statement earlier, like why would we have you on? It's because of who you are and what you've done for the community that this is the reason why you're on. And
it's a no-brainer. a
We should
no-brainer
have had
for
you
us,
on
man.
sooner, but
No. He's got to kick off season 3. What are you talking
he's
about?
kicking off season
Who
3.
would have thought that we would have gotten to season 3? See, that's another miracle right there. That's
Well,
Bert didn't think we were going to get to season 3.
man, I've seen every guest, so stop it. Congratulations to you both. I remember where you guys were bringing up the idea.
Oh
And,
yeah. Those COVID happy hour days,
those
right?
COVID happy hour days, which we don't have to really discuss it further.
Yeah, it's just stated.
Awesome.
It's just stated. That's where it happened. That's it.
Yeah.
Those were some fun hours, that's for sure, man.
But think about this, Bert. You were there on the calls when we'd have the happy hours, and then everybody get off and disperse, and then me, you, and G would hop on and would continue the call, right?
Yeah,
G, think about this. G, I mean, Bert has been part of the infancy of the podcast. He's been part of the infancy of the hybrid for the G League. He's been infancy stage of the arena and the soccer stadium.
Correct.
Dude, you were like
but you forgot the best and the most important accomplishment is the infancy, being a part of the infancy of the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
100%.
But I was just trying to state his importance and his value with so many aspects within the Valley.
100%.
Y'all are too kind. Just grateful for the opportunity. Grateful for the fact that we took advantage of the opportunity, and grateful for just again look where we're at now, and the stories that we're able to tell, and I think you guys know we're blessed. I think we're blessed, and again, just thanks for allowing us to share some stories.
Oh, you're welcome back anytime, my man.
Anytime, buddy. Hey, enjoy the skies, man. The sky's the limit for you.
Yeah, sky is the limit for you.
Hopefully we see you guys soon.
Oh yeah, right. We will. Take care, Bert. Tune in next week. V's up.
Like, we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean. Like, something happened